The Internet, a vast and echoing chamber of information, often serves as a portal to the darkest corners of the human experience. Reddit, in particular, with its sprawling forums and anonymous users, can be a breeding ground for the macabre. A recent post, stark in its simplicity, caught my attention. Titled, "Random Disturbing Facts and Theories About Serial Killers," it seemed to offer a glimpse into the abyss. But what truly piqued my interest wasn't the generic promise of unsettling details, but a single sentence embedded within the comments. "I'm the grandson of Judy Benoano. Her crimes didn't stop at her victims. They haunted her children." That sentence, a whisper of personal tragedy, transformed the abstract fascination with serial killers into something profoundly real. It yanked the veil of anonymity and revealed the raw, bleeding wounds left behind by such acts. It's one thing to read about statistics, methods, and motives. It's quite another to consider the devastating ripple effect, the way a killer's actions can poison generations. This is the story of Judy Benoano, a woman who earned the chilling title of the Black Widow, and the legacy of pain she left behind. Judy Benoano, born Judy Lucy, arrived on this earth in 1943. Little is known of her early life, which adds to the mystery surrounding the origin of her dark nature. The narrative begins in 1969, when she married Air Force Sergeant James Goodyear, adopting his last name and beginning her life with him. Tragedy struck quickly. In 1971, Goodyear died under mysterious circumstances, leaving Judy a young widow with 2 children. The official cause of death was attributed to a ruptured ulcer, a convenient explanation that would later unravel under intense scrutiny. This early loss, shrouded in ambiguity, was the first stone laid in the path of her chilling legacy. This loss, however, would be just the beginning. Judy had a talent for finding men, then slowly suffocating the life out of them, figuratively and literally. Next in her sights was her boyfriend, John G. Bobby DiFranzo. Their relationship ended in a cruel twist when DiFranzo was nearly killed in a car bomb. He survived, but he would live with severe injuries, all caused by the actions of the woman who claimed to love him. The explosion, a violent eruption of shrapnel and fire, left DiFranzo permanently disabled and forever marked by the ferocity of Judy's desperation. The explosion itself, a sudden and brutal act of violence, was a stark contrast to the insidious method of poisoning she would later employ. These events, though separated by time and circumstance, were all connected by a thread of manipulation and greed. Judy was the constant in this twisted equation, the puppeteer pulling the strings, her motives shrouded in a web of insurance policies and financial gain. The arid landscapes of Florida, where many of these events unfolded, seemed to mirror the barrenness of Judy's compassion. The sun-drenched suburbs and quiet neighborhoods masked a darkness that festered beneath the surface, a testament to how easily evil can camouflage itself. Detectives, piecing together the puzzle, began to focus on the pattern. They discovered that Judy had taken out substantial life insurance policies on her husband and, later, on DiFranzo. The payouts were a key indicator. They were the first pieces of the puzzle that pointed to a motive beyond grief. Investigators, poring over financial records in dimly lit offices, began to see a disturbing trend. A life insured, a premature death, and a tidy sum of money flowing into Judy's accounts. The sheer audacity of it, the methodical accumulation of wealth through the deliberate demise of those closest to her, was a chilling revelation. The trials themselves were dramatic and harrowing. Evidence was presented, witness testimony was given, and the full extent of Judy's cruelty began to emerge. She was cold, calculating, and utterly devoid of remorse. Her demeanor, described by those who encountered her as calm and unflappable, added another layer of dread to the proceedings. The courtroom, often a sterile environment of legal arguments, became a stage for a chilling performance of guilt and denial. The prosecution painted a picture of a woman driven by avarice, systematically eliminating those who stood between her and financial security. The defense, in stark contrast, attempted to portray her as a victim of circumstance or a woman driven to desperate measures by personal struggles. The state argued that Judy was motivated by greed. The financial benefits of the deaths, including insurance payouts and Social Security, were the driving force behind her actions. The prosecution meticulously detailed the intricate steps Judy had taken to ensure her victims' deaths, from the arsenic poisoning to the rigged car bomb. They presented documents, photographs, and the testimony of individuals. Each piece of evidence was a brick in the wall of her guilt, slowly but surely boxing her in. The defense naturally attempted to paint a different picture. They downplayed the evidence, questioned the reliability of the witnesses, and suggested alternative theories. But the evidence was overwhelming. Judy Benoano, the Black Widow, was found guilty. The verdict, delivered after hours of deliberation, echoed through the hushed courtroom, a definitive pronouncement of her monstrous deeds. The collective sigh of relief from the families of the victims was palpable, a small measure of solace in the face of unspeakable loss. Her sentencing, a formality, reflected the severity of her crimes. She received multiple life sentences for her crimes and was later sentenced to death for the murder of her son. The gravity of these sentences underscored the profound impact of her actions, not only on her direct victims but on the very fabric of familial trust. But even after the legal proceedings concluded and Judy was sent to death row, the story didn't end. The emotional impact of her crimes lingered, a dark shadow cast over the lives of her children. The scars of her violence were not physical, but deeply etched into the psyches of those who had loved her and been loved by her. The Reddit comment, from the grandson of Judy Benoano, highlights this enduring pain. The family of Judy, once bound by blood, was now fractured by her actions. The children, who had to face the reality of their mother's guilt, were forced to reconcile their love for her with the undeniable truth of her crimes. They became victims not just of her actions but of the enduring trauma. The weight of their mother's infamy was a constant burden, a shadow that followed them into adulthood, shaping their relationships, their self-perception, and their very understanding of family. This trauma manifested in various ways. There was the grief, the sense of betrayal, the questions that would never be fully answered. There was also the social stigma, the burden of carrying the name of a killer, the need to continually explain and justify their existence to a world that saw them only as a reflection of their mother's evil. The very name Benoano became synonymous with murder, a dark stain on their heritage that no amount of time or distance could erase. The family, fractured by the crimes, have struggled to rebuild their lives. They grapple with the legacy of Judy Benoano, their lives forever intertwined with a dark history. They face an ongoing battle to process the past, find some semblance of peace, and reconcile their personal tragedies with the public's perception of their mother. The quiet dignity with which they navigated this torment is a testament to their resilience, but the echoes of their mother's darkness continue to resonate, a constant reminder of the destruction she wrought. Judy Benoano was eventually executed by lethal injection in 1998. Her death brought a sense of closure to the legal proceedings, but it did little to heal the wounds inflicted on her children. The end of her life did not remove the pain. The ghosts of her crimes still linger, a haunting reminder of the woman who destroyed so many lives in her pursuit of money and power. The sterile efficiency of the execution chamber provided a finality for the justice system, but for the surviving family members, it was merely another chapter in a lifelong saga of sorrow. The story of Judy Benoano serves as a stark reminder of the destructive potential that lies within the human heart. It speaks to the insidious nature of greed, the cold calculations of a killer, and the enduring consequences of such actions. The crimes themselves, the meticulously planned murders, are appalling. But it is the lasting impact on the lives of those left behind, the children who were forced to carry the burden of their mother's evil, that makes the story truly disturbing. Their quiet suffering, the silent testament to a mother's monstrous deeds, is perhaps the most chilling aspect of this tragic tale. The case is a potent study in the nature of evil and the profound impact of crime on the human experience. The legal proceedings have ended, but the story of Judy Benoano lives on. It is a story of deception, greed, and a family forever marked by tragedy. It is a chilling reminder that the echoes of violence can reverberate for generations, a spectral haunting that transcends the physical boundaries of life and death.